Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to this video. Introducing, my name is Wida Rosmawati. I'll be describe about developing a standard variety in Norway. In 1814, Norway became independent after being ruled by Denmark for 4 centuries. The government was faced with a diglossia situation with Danish as the H language and a range of Norwegian dialects as the L varieties, but no standard Norwegian language. They are upper class. People spoke Danish with Norwegian pronunciation in formal situation and a compromise between that and local Norwegian dialect in informal context. While lower class and rural people use Norwegian dialect with Danish influence evident in the speech of townspeople. Standard Danish was not used widely for informal interaction, especially in rural areas, and people's attitudes toward the language were generally at least ambivalent, if not hostile. On the other hand, choosing a variety from among the regional Norwegian dialects raised problems relating to the form and mutation required of a standard language. Any dialect selected would need codifying and would require extensive national elaboration. And the problem of which dialect to select cause obvious had changed in relation to people's attitudes, such as an example, shu, hasta, boha. They are reintroduced Norwegian form we call radical, and shu, haste, bohen are original Danish derived from we call moderate. Next, anyway, the name of these two language forms, Bokmål and Nynorsk, these two language forms are originally meaning of this name are book language and modern language, respectively, but names are completely standalone and nobody really cares about what originally referred to. Also, I want to reiterate that these are different written forms of the same language and nobody speaks them. The language is simply Norwegian, no matter how you write. Two different approaches were taken developing a standard variety of Norwegian. One approach selected a variety based on Danish, with some orthographic and morphological modification based on educated urban Norwegian speech. This eventually developed into Bokmål, the variety mentioned in the description of Hamsberg. The other approach created a new Norwegian written standard by drawing on range of rural Norwegian dialects. It was first called Landsmål, or language of the country, and later after several reforms, Nynorsk or New Norwegian. About 15% of the total population are used Nynorsk, and about 85% are users of Bokmål. It comes to using the other variety. Users of Nynorsk are more likely to be proficient in Bokmål than the other way around. Nevertheless, it is important to recognize that outside Norwegian regard Nynorsk and Bokmål as distinct written varieties, they continue to have much in common. So, in practice, Then, while political activities continue to argue about the appropriate form of written Norwegian standard, it is clear that bookmark rather than Linux has been winning out. It is used in most books and by most schools as a medium of instruction, though some people insist on Linux as the only possible variety for a true Norwegian to use, and stress its significance as a more democratic variety. Many dislike its country bumpkin association. Bookma has urban and sophisticated connotation. These attitudes are now widespread, and their effect on people usage are likely to make government in inversion and language planning irrelevant in the long run. Top or bottom up. Top-down signs are official signs, designed by public authorities, while bottom-up signs are non-official signs, usually produced by individual or group. However, the distinction is not always clear. For example, professional signs produced by commercial organizations may be perceived by some as relatively official, especially if they have passed through a design and approval process, or are required to follow a set of guidelines and can be found in identical form nationwide. A more useful classification that has been proposed is a continuum from official to non-official rather than a simple either-or categorization. On the other hand, Nicholas Coman suggests that all linguistic landscaping is generated from above, since people listen for choosing what to portray are influenced by language ideologies, whether they conform to official language policy or challenge it. They unavoidably give the police credence by implicitly acknowledging its existence. This gives a clue concerning the implication for language planning of the distinction between top-down and bottom-up, or relatively official versus relatively unofficial signage. An analysis of the linguistic landscape can provide useful clues to gauge which often exist between official language policy, and actual linguistic practice. For the example, Timor-Leste is a multilingual Pacific country with approximately 17 indigenous languages and 3 non-indigenous languages, Portuguese, Indonesian, and English, each associated with different periods of outside influence. There are 2 official languages, Portuguese and Teton. The country indigenous lingua franca, which is spoken by about 70% of the population. The choice of Portuguese as an official language reflects 400 years of colonial rule. This was followed by 24 years under Indonesian rule. In 2002, the UN peacekeeping force arrived to assist the transition to independence, bringing with them influx of English. Once again, we see the important examination the interaction between political consideration, social consideration, and linguistic behavior. The extensive use of English signage in Timor-Leste provide further evidence of the steady effects of globalization. That's from me. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.